from a man in deep. Said his house ain't a home and he's losing sleep. Wife cold as steel, vibe off track. Asked me how the hell to get his edge back.
What's going on, guys? I have a pretty good sponsored video for you today. My man wrote in and the subject line is, I'm tired of being the guy she only wants as a friend. Paul, I'm writing because I'm stuck in a place I always seem to end up in. And the more I look at it, the more I think I keep walking myself right into it. There's a woman I've been close with for a while now. We text almost every day. We hang out. We talk about work, stress, family, and life in general. She vents to me about other guys. She tells me I'm such a good guy and that she feels safe with me. I'm the one she calls when she needs advice or support. But that's all it ever is. That's all it ever is. That's the thing, man. You're giving her too much comfort and not enough heat, brother. You're essentially being her emotional tampon, right? Emotional tampon. And here's the thing, like, comfort is the beta side of hypergamy, okay? And leading with the beta side lands you in the friend zone, okay? So men put themselves in the friend zone by essentially acting like a friend. Okay. If you act like her friend, if you try to be her friend, you're going to end up in the friend zone. Okay. So you're doing this to yourself, brother. Anytime I've tried to move things in a more romantic direction, it just goes nowhere. She laughs it off, changes the subject, or says she doesn't want to mess up the friendship. Then a week later, she's telling me about some other guy she's seeing who barely puts in effort. That's the part that really gets to me. Well, here's the problem, dude. Like, you're accepting this nonsense. I just commented on a video that's sort of going viral on X right now. And it's of this guy. He's at like a sports game and the kiss cam comes up and he leans in to give this girl a kiss. And she's like, no, ew, no. Oh, and the guy's just like, oh, okay. And he goes back like this. Like, guys accept that kind of crap, right? They go to make that move. She blows him off like that. Oh, I don't want to interrupt the friendship. And then they're like, okay, well, I guess we can still be friends. Like, no, dude, you're accepting that nonsense. Okay. She says she doesn't want to mess up the friendship and you accept that nonsense and you stick around like a lost puppy hoping for a scrap. Okay. This is we're not at the 8-minute mark. So probably going to get demonetized here, but this is what we call sneaky fucker game, right? Like, you're hoping for one of these dudes that she's dating to mess up, and then you'll swoop in and console her, and that will make her sexually attracted to you. But it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't make her sexually attracted to you. It makes her see you as a girlfriend with a penis. Okay. What makes this worse is that I honestly thought I was doing everything right. I'm respectful. I listen. I don't pressure her. I don't cross lines. I'm always available when she needs me. That reminds me right there. I'm always available when she needs me. One thing that I learned from Alan Roger Curry back in the day, the late, great Alan Roger Curry, he passed away several years ago. He wrote several books called, and he's the inventor of Mode 1. Like, if you ever heard of Mode 1, that was Alan Roger Curry. He passed away. And he wrote a bunch of really good books. But one of the things that I learned from him and his books and having him on the podcast was that women look at men who give their time and attention away too easily the same way men look at women who give away sex too easily, right? They look at you like a trick, right? is what Alan would say. So he says, I'm always available when she needs me. That's a part of the problem. You're too available, okay? He says, I figured if I just stayed consistent and showed I was different, eventually she'd see me as more than a friend. Instead, I feel like I put myself in a holding pattern where I'm useful but never chosen. Well, this is the problem that 97% of men find themselves in, okay? 97% of these guys are like, oh, these guys are jerks. I'm going to be the opposite of that, right? I'm being different. When you say I'm being different, you're literally being like 97% of the other frustrated guys out there that aren't very good with women. They don't understand women. Okay. But the guys that they go for are the jerks. Okay. I'm not saying you have to be a jerk, but you can't be like this. You can't be a hovering nice guy leading with all this comfort crap. Okay. And a big reason why guys do this is because they listen to what women say instead of watching what women respond to. Okay. Women complain about all the jerks that they date. They say they want a man who's respectful and sweet and caring and a good listener, right? Well, when women talk about what they want in a man, they are utterly incapable of saying what makes them sexually attracted. So they list all the qualities they want in a man that they already find sexually attractive. Okay. You can't lead with that caring, comforting nonsense because it doesn't make you sexually attractive. You understand? Women women want those things, right? Because hypergamy is alpha traits and beta traits, alpha fucks, beta bucks. They do want both, but they want the beta bucks from guys that they're sexually attracted to. Okay. Like Dr. Glover says it really well. Okay. Women don't fuck a man. They get to know. They get to know a man they want to fuck. All right. So stop listening to what women say and watch what they respond to. All right. We're going to be talking about that more on tomorrow's podcast because tomorrow's podcast is all about mixed signals. And guys to this day are still confused by mixed signals. And you will completely eliminate that frustration from your life when you stop listening to what women say and just pay attention to what they do and their actions and what they respond to. Okay. We'll get into that more tomorrow. The longer this has gone on, the more I can see this isn't the first time I've done this. I don't go after what I want directly. I wait. I try to be liked first. I try to earn my spot instead of claiming it. I tell myself I'm being patient, but really I'm just avoiding the risk of hearing no. See, it's all just one big buffer for rejection, right? And he says, and every time I end up watching someone else get the relationship while I carry the emotional weight. Yeah. So stop doing that shit. Stop it. You know what you're doing wrong. Stop. Men put themselves in the friend zone by accepting women's friendship offers. Okay. Stop trying to be friends with these women. Women are sexually attracted to confident men who make bold moves. Okay. If you make a bold move and she's not responsive to it and says she wants to be friends first, tell her you're not interested in being friends. Okay. I already have friends. No, thank you. I had one thing that happened to me years ago. This was before I got red pilled, but it was red pill chick who did this to me. And it's one of the things I look back on and I like to use as an example for guys. But when we were getting right before the breakup, right? This should have been a big sign because when women are hinting at this kind of shit, they're thinking of breaking up with you. Okay. But she tells me, she goes, hey, if we ever broke up, like I'd really like to remain friends. And I go, pass is what I told her. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, no, I'm not interested in being in the friend zone. I'm not. And so, and that pissed her off and whatever, but it was like, I'm not going to be your plan B option for when you want to go out here and test the waters and that doesn't work out. Like you just keep me on the back burner in your friend zone. Cause that's what the friend zone is. You know what I mean? And so a lot of these guys, they hear that kind of stuff and they're like, yeah, so we'll eventually get a shot, right? Not necessarily. In fact, 99.99% of the time, never. You will never get a shot. But guys hold out hope in the friend zone like that because they hear about women keeping guys on the back burner like that. They're not going to do that for you, bro. Especially if she's never banged you. If she's like, at least I had banged red pill chick, right? Look at Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk, right? Now, it might not be that great of an idea because if you look at like all the stuff going on with Erica Kirk right now, it's something's very questionable about her ability to mourn the loss of Charlie. I'm not going to get into all that because that's a really touchy subject for a lot of people. But if you look at how they got together, Okay. And I disagree with Charlie Kirk on his takes on marriage, but he handled Erica like a boss in the beginning, in my opinion. Right. So she went in to interview with him for a job, and he straight up told her, look, I'm not going to hire you, but I want to date you. And she goes, well, can we be friends first? And he said, I'm not interested in being friends. I want to date you. Basically, take it or leave it, bitch. Right. And she ended up taking it, and, they got married and whatever. But essentially, this is the offer, take it or leave it. And the thing is, like, if she would have left it, who cares? Okay. There's always another woman, brother. There's always another bus every 15 minutes. Shout out to Corey Wayne. There's literally 4 billion chicks on this planet. And you guys let yourself get hung up on one chick, and it destroys you mentally and emotionally. Stop doing that. Okay. Stop being her friend. Shoot your shot. If she doesn't accept your friend, fine. Okay. You know what? Next bus. Okay. You guys need to have more of an abundance mindset when it comes to women. There's plenty of them out there. There's no shortage of vaginas out there. Okay, guys. He goes, I've been listening to the show for a while now, and a lot of what you say about nice guy behavior has been uncomfortable because it lines up with my own patterns, especially the part about men avoiding rejection and paying for it later in quiet resentment. I'm not sure I've ever worded it that way, but yeah. Nice guys end up getting frustrated because they're doing everything that they're told is right, but it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like there's this, Rollo calls it the old books, right? The old school of thought when it comes to dating and relationships. And, we also call that blue pill thinking. Okay. Blue pill thinking doesn't fucking work. It doesn't. It's romantic. Oh, it's romantic. And this is what everyone should be doing, maybe, but that's not how it works. Okay. It's one of the reasons we often tell men to stop asking fish how to catch fish, to ask fishermen. Okay. Because women are utterly incapable. I said it at the beginning, utterly incapable of telling guys what makes them sexually attracted to a man that gets them interested to want all that comfort crap. They're just utterly incapable of doing it. So stop asking women for advice. One of the guys in Wolfpack was saying he was asking one of his girlfriends about this text exchange, and she gave him some song and dance. Literally all the other bros in the Wolfpack are like, dude, stop asking women for fucking advice, dude. You know what I mean? Anyway, stop that shit. You're never going to get good advice from women. Never in the history of ever. He goes, I guess what I'm really trying to figure out is whether the situation can even change at this point, or if the moment I accept the friend role, the door closed. And more importantly, how I stop putting myself in this position before it ever gets this far again. I don't want to keep ending up as the guy she trusts but doesn't want. I want to be seen as someone she respects and desires, and not just someone who makes her feel comfortable. Like, okay, so if you ever look at any of the get out of the friend zone advice out there, literally it comes down to giving her an ultimatum, right? Like, you shoot your shot and you say, hey, look, I'm not interested in being friends. We're either going to be romantic or I'm going to bounce, right? Like, it's essentially an ultimatum. The problem with ultimatums is it's a declaration of helplessness. Okay. It still puts you at a weaker position. It's not attractive. So if I were you, brother, I would just assume it's not going to change and cut your losses. Okay. Stop being her friend. Stop listening to her bullshit. Stop being her emotional tampon, and drop her and find a better woman. Okay. But first, you have to stop being a nice guy. You have to fucking get rid of that nice guy mentality. Okay. And he says, that's why I wanted to sponsor an episode on this. I feel like I can see the pattern now. I just don't know how to break it. Appreciate the work you do. Well, yeah, brother, I recommend that you get my first book. Okay. I really talk about this stuff, like not accepting the friend zone and stuff like that in this book. Really pay attention to the dating and spinning plates chapter, and read it multiple times. Okay. And if you want, like, the other chapters aren't really, your cup of tea right now, just focus on the dating and spinning plates chapter right now. And just listen to that over and over again, 10 to 15 times. Okay. It's the only way you're going to break that nice guy habit when it comes to the dating process, because you got to rewire what's up here. Okay. Our subconscious mind and our paradigms create our actions in life. Like 95% of your actions and your results with women are because of subconscious nice guy paradigms that are programmed up here. And those subconscious paradigms create our actions in life. Those actions cause reactions. Those reactions cause our results. Your results aren't where they want to be. So you got to change what's up here to change your results. Okay. And the way you do that is through repetition. Repetition backed by emotion is the best. But if you just listen to books on repeat, that's often enough. Okay. So listen to that book or read it, whatever you prefer. Some people prefer, reading on Kindle or whatever. However you want to do it 10 to 15 times, rewire that mindset. Okay, brother. I'm going to drop a link to it here in the chat. It's also in the description too. It's called Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. It's the first book I ever wrote. It really runs the gambit from like making more money, fixing your mindset, going on dates, getting in shape, all that kind of stuff. So I would recommend doing that one. Okay, brother. But that's all I got, guys. What do we have for the chat? We have a bunch of guys in the chat here. Brother John's in the house. He says, good afternoon, everybody. Omega says, we don't deal with emotional tampons around here. No, we don't. Phil says, hoorah. John says, failed kiss cam is a get up and leave. Not angrily, just leave. Yeah, definitely. I thought we were on a date. Apparently we're not. All right. Well, you have a good evening. Find yourself an Uber, bitch. You don't have to add the bitch on that. Use your inside voice. Brother David's in the house. He says, afternoon, everyone. Don't be a trick. No, in fact, don't be a trick. John says they don't know why they are attracted. 99% of the time, women have no clue why they're into the guys that they're into. In fact, they're constantly questioning it. They're like, why do I always go for jerks? Why do I always go for jerks? And then this nice guy's right here going, yeah, I don't understand. I'm right here for you, babe. I'm right here. And you're such a sweet girl. And she goes, oh, you're so sweet. And then she goes and bangs another jerk, right? Like they have no idea why. We do, because these guys are more exciting. They're more fun. They embrace their sexuality. They're bold. They're confident. They don't fuck around. You know what I mean? Yeah. He goes, I used to always do that, except the friend thing. It was awful. It is awful. It is awful. And guys complain about it all the time. They're like, I'm always friends with these girls, and all these girls only want to be friends with me. It's bullshit. And then they're all mad about it. It's like, you do it to yourself, bro, because you accept that. It's nonsense. Nurse Chick's in the house. She says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Nurse Chick gets this one.
I'm so naughty.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna come.
Yep.
That pussy must be ridiculous.
It is, guys. And let me tell you something about Nurse Chick. If I would have said, hey, let's be friends first, she would have been like, ick. She would have been like, fuck that. I didn't do that. Our first date, I'll tell you sort of how our first date went. Normally I do drinks in the evening. I don't recommend coffee dates because coffee dates put out the friend vibe. And so I went to go do my go-to, where I asked her when she was free, and she said she was free this day. And I said, okay, cool. Meet me at the Feisty Pint, 7 p.m. And she goes, well, I can't because I got to work that night. She was a graveyard labor and delivery nurse at the time. And she goes, I can't because I got to go to work that night. And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, fine. Let's meet for coffee. And I said, let's meet at Starbucks over here at this time. And she goes, okay. So we had a date set up and planned. And the day before, she goes, I was thinking, instead of going to Starbucks, like maybe we can meet at the park across the street, and I'll go get the Starbucks and we'll bring it over to. I go, no, we already have plans. I'll meet you over at the Starbucks. I'll see you then. Because when women go to change plans on you, it's a shit test. Usually, sometimes it's unconscious. I don't think Nurse Chick consciously was trying to shit test me. But when you say, no, we're going with the plans, like women are like, oh, this guy's bold, right? Like they like that sort of thing. They don't want to win. Nurse Chick's like, oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good. So we end up going to Starbucks, and we go in there, and I thought it was going to be a practice date because I wasn't sure. And when she walked in, her jeans were like super tight. They were like, and her ass was like pow. And I was like, oh shit. oh shit, this isn't a practice date. This is game time, baby. All right. So she sits down and we're sitting at the table, and this is all around the time of COVID and stuff too. So we're all joking about how sitting at the table is safe, but standing up is like you're fucking dying, like stupid. Anyway, so we ended up going outside so that we didn't have to wear stupid ass masks, and we sit outside and we're chatting it up, and I'm playfully bantering with her, and I'm trying to let her do 80% of the talking, which is really difficult because she does zero talking. And but we kept that going. But then I had to get going because WrestleMania was happening, and she had to go get ready for work. So I walked her to her car and I boldly went in for a kiss. And after that, she was smitten, and she is Twitter pated. And later that night, she ended up not having to go to work. And she goes, "Hey, what are you doing tonight? I happen to not be busy, whatever." And I said, "Well, I'm watching WrestleMania. You're welcome to join me." And she drove an hour to my house because I live in the middle of nowhere. And we watched WrestleMania, guys, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's all I got for this episode, guys. Tune into the podcast tomorrow. We're going to talk about mixed signals and how to never get mixed signals from women ever again. If you're frequently frustrated by mixed signals from women, you're definitely going to want to tune into the live stream tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But that's all I got, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.